Okay, she's moved to Dogwood behind the Longhorn Steakhouse. Sounds pretty interesting. And I have no idea. I'm not that familiar with Flowood. But I saw her point in this direction, so let's look for the Longhorn Steakhouse and Dogwood and the Brick House. I'm so happy that my car's running really good, and it's not leaking much oil. It did leak some oil already. I mean, it's just repaired like a week ago, and it's leaking oil, you know. And he knows he's got to get back in there and figure out what is it. He forgot to put the gasket on. It maybe just be leaking out of the old gasket. He's probably original 97 gasket on there. Get the firehouse! And also, we have yet to replace the oxygen sensor, so I'm living on toll. Sometimes it's just burning up gas like crazy. I'm down to half a tank. I just filled it up like 2 days ago, and haven't really driven far like this. It's the first time I've driven far. Now I'm down to half a tank. Man, it's unbelievable. It's gonna break me. Longhorn Steakhouse. I mean, who would you have to ask, right? Who would you have to ask? Where's the Longhorn Steakhouse? See a Wendy's, Metropolitan. I was offered a job at Metropolitan Bangkok. Now, indirectly, at the time that I was offered a job, I had just been injured and just got back surgery and just really was in bad shape. There was just no way that I was going to be able to work normal hours and control staff and look presentable. I really looked horrible. My wife has photos of that time. You know, I mean, perhaps if I, go on the Conan O'Brien show or something, he said, Paul, what happened? Well, a lot of bad stuff happened. And I felt real bad, real sick, thought I was going to die. Daily. I mean, literally daily thought I was going to die. And, Sakuna, Jean, Chulika, nursed me back to life. I mean, when the chips were down, she was the only one around. I didn't get any get well wishes. No cards in the snail mail. Regular post. No emails. Facebook was fairly new. No, Facebook wasn't even out yet. I had surgery in 2006. I didn't see any Facebook stuff till 2009. The Longhorn Steakhouse. I got a feeling we've already passed it or something, man. So I'm gonna find somebody to ask. Now, I've been out of the country a while, and I'm doing my very best not to have culture shock, but I do. People just do not seem as friendly, and this is my capital city. I'm born in Mississippi, lived most of my years in Clinton, and Mississippi Sports Medicine. Deaconess Hospice. That Joey Deaton's place. I mean, they're gonna do like sign language therapy or something. You have a head cold. Put a cold rag on your head. Smell some Vicks. Smell some Vicks. Alright. I'd like people to understand. I've got a sense of humor about being deaf and hard of hearing, you know, and I could say both because there are times when I'm just like stone deaf. That's not the local jogging team. But, you know, when you're with somebody that's hard of hearing or deaf, don't harass them. You know, don't get up in their face and pressure them. And, you know, you need to be very diligent and use some common courtesy when you speak to them. You know, they're human beings, for God's sakes. And they don't deserve to be treated with any less respect than somebody that's hearing you perfectly and knows all your jargon and all your, you know, your goofy ass Jerry and Kramer jokes. There's your Kramer. Hey Jerry, there's your Kramer. And that's, you know, I had that problem, you know, in high school, and I didn't socialize in junior high except with church, and I was disrespected, harassed, and spoke to with sarcasm sometimes, even by adults, for my hearing impairment. Real sad. And the youth director, I believe, was fired because of it, along with something else. I mean, he may have had an affair or something. In fact, the time that he was like yelling at me, harassing me, it turned out I believe he had an affair or something with that lady. But I think they hooked up and married. You know, anyway, life is so strange when you don't know. How can you be sure of any situation? Life is so strange. So we're just cruising around in the, you know, ungodly heat. Gene and I redid the floor in our trailer, the living room floor, and it's, you know, we pulled up the carpet. We had this nasty carpet, and let me tell you people something. When you pull up that piece against the wall that holds the carpet against the wall, you know, it's on the floor, very close to the wall. I'm at loss for words what you call this thing, but it's a strip piece. I've been told this before, that if it's real nasty carpet, and when you get ready to take up that carpet itself, you got to wear a mask, and you also need to wear a mask when you take up the stripping. Now, my daughter and I took up the stripping, and she just got like a little bit of a stuffy nose, but it just gave me a total head cold. So the allergens, the concentrated allergens in there, it just, you know, wreaked havoc on me, and that's kind of dangerous for me with Meniere's syndrome, like my sensitivity to my Eustachian tube, you know, that affects your balance. But also, you know, I mean, I could, you know, possibly have a permanent loss of hearing from some kind of problem like that. And I didn't really think about it while I was doing it. We were in such a hurry to do all that, and our financial situation in handling the purchase of the materials had to be done very quickly, and we got it laid down very quickly. And my daughter, oh bless her little heart, she got a big hammer out and a big screwdriver and helped me pull up that stripping. She knew that I wasn't feeling good, and that, you know, from the intense heat, stress, busy, dizzy, you know, she got down there, 6.5 years old, and helped me pull up that stripping. She pulled up half of the stripping in that room, and her mother and I did the other half. I still have not found the Longhorn Steakhouse